What would Fred Rogers think about all of this?
He'd probably say, oh my, it's wonderful.
He would, I think he would say this, it must be a lot of pressure for you to do this all day long with people like us. Mm-hmm. You probably have to come up with an awful lot of subject matters that might even be uncomfortable for you. Is that the case? You can answer the question. We'll be happy to listen. You can't say anything wrong. It's good to talk. So just go ahead and share the way you would feel about, and all of you are such hardworking individuals that it's really quite uncanny, but it must be hard sometimes. Is it hard sometimes? That's what Mr. Rogers would do.
I want to cry. It's so true. We filmed in Pittsburgh, and his family and the people who worked on the show for years were all around us and supporting us and on our side, but we wanted to do right by them. And so I feel fairly certain when his wife Joanne called me and had seen the movie and said that she thought he would be really proud and he would be really happy with the movie. That made me feel good.
He would say, Tom Hanks does not weigh 143 pounds. He would say that. Yeah,
but little known fact, Tom Hanks was Fred Rogers' favorite actor, which is something that Joanne told us when, just to add pressure to the fire. Yeah. When we arrived in Pittsburgh, we had dinner.
Just when it was most helpful. Right about 3 o'clock in the morning when I was up chucking in the bathroom.
Yeah, I think it was a few days before we started filming, and we had a dinner with Joanne, who's just the most wonderful woman, and she just said, I think that Fred saw, was it Forrest Gump, in the movie theater 40 times. She said, Tom Hanks was his favorite actor. He loved him so much, and it had all come from Big. He had loved Big and thought you really got the essence of childhood right. And anyway, so yes, added pressure, but also it makes it perfect.
Pittsburgh is a great town, and everybody knew that we were there. We were I was going up in the elevator from the gym and trying to get down to 143 pounds. I only missed it by like 30, but a fellow came in, Pittsburghian, and he said, "Oh, Mr. Hanks, you're in town filming." I said, yes, I am. Well, welcome to Pittsburgh. It was really wonderful to have you here. I said, "Oh, thank you very much." And then he said, we take Mr. Rogers very seriously here in Pittsburgh. I said, "Oh man, I can't get a break." So I went upstairs and upchucked in the bathroom, and then got back to work.
It is true. The Pittsburghers are serious about Mr. Rogers.
Boss lady.
Oh, okay. This is one we each have to answer. What is the last film or TV show you watched that made you cry?
Oh.
Mine was 8th grade. I loved it so much, and it made me cry so much.
Of course, I'm blanking. Was Elena Ferrante's the two little girls
in Naples?
In Naples, yeah.
Well, I can't remember what the name is.
Is it recent?
Well, it's in the last 8-9 months or so.
I just saw the documentary Buck, which is about the horse whisperer. There's a horse that is, excuse me, I might get into this. There's a horse that is so damaged that even he knows it has to be put down, which is a loss and a giving up on everything that he stood for, because he himself was so abused as a young boy that he could have been that horse. That was a powerful moment.
Mine was the last episode, I want to call it like an installation, it was so powerful, of When They See Us. It hit me that night, and then I woke up the next morning and I was like bawling. And I'm not normally a crier, I'm just kind of, like from the time I was young, so it's not like I'm trying not to cry, but it was just so deeply powerful and so open and available to be honest with us, just and say however you receive it, but this is the honest thing that we're going to tell here, and that tore me up.